then every step forward will always be a step closer to home.
So step on up to the place. Need to face what can spill into the light of us. Step on up to the place. 'Cause this ain't no game. It's time to make history.
Sorry this video had to be cut into 2 parts, but because you only have only a limited number of commentary tracks and had to slice them all apart, I had to, of course, break this into a 2-parter. So, the first part is obviously Phil complaining about RPGs and not getting reviews for them, and I think that, he's, believes his own nonsense, and then basically believes his own kind of nonsense, the whole thing. But now we come to Phil crashing out about the Mario movie, not only not caring to old boomer men like him, but not being what he wants, and then talk about slop content, etc., etc. This is basically Phil crashing out over a children's movie, not catering to him, as I stated before.
So
this is really was like the fact, and now he is still being upset about this now. At the time of making this video, he is still bringing this up, like, oh, why is all this stuff that I liked it back when I was a child, which I don't believe, isn't caring to old people like me. Which I will kind of say is that there's always a give or take. You could age your series up, but you can also get an alien entire demographic, especially those who are growing up and are now getting into a series, and they probably can't play the series or get into the series because it's for a much older demographic, and they can't. By the time they get ready to play it, they might not be interested in the same way. It's always about a give or take. You can't just make your series dark or gory or gloomy and edgy for the sake of it. It's only gonna maybe alienate. You gotta always be careful. But Phil's upset because this is not catering to the over 40 people. This is for kids. She has a problem with that. He really is crashing out about this because it's for children. And he's really, and then calling it slop. And he really loves that word, slop. He never barely used it, and now it's become such a word that has become part of vocabulary. But it just shows how much Phil is really much getting mad about a movie for no reason. But let's see what Phil is gonna have to say, because the fact that it makes it 2-parter tells you enough. But this was something that I actually got more heated in the first part, but there might have to be a little bit of calm. But let's see what we have here. Also, again, shout out Still Hogan for this video. It's really been useful. I hope you can use more of your videos for when I talk about topics, what Phil says. But let's see what we have for this video.
I think it's funny it's coming out April 1st. Like it's an April Fool's joke that the movie is bad, right? No, it is. It actually is. It's not supposed to be a joke. It actually is bad, So yeah, it's lame. I'm sorry. Let me put it this way. Visually, it looks good. Just like the first movie. Visually, it was appealing because the graphics of the CGI now are crazy good, right? But outside of that, you literally have, 30 to 40 years of Mario games that you could have systematically made into a universe that made sense with a narrative that made sense, and instead you just decided crush it all together to make an amalgamation of slop that doesn't mean anything, but it's flashy and the kids will go on to see it. Yeah. It's bad. It's lame. Because, again, it's something my whole life has been a part of my life, video games and Mario. And the fact that basically no attention or care to detail or anything is being given to that. Instead, it's just another piece of garbage to be pooped out of Hollywood for kids to say, ooh, and buy me merch and shit off of it. It's crap.
I don't get why he's so upset that he's not caring. I mean, yeah, it's for kids to go see, but it's for family. Sorry that he wants us to like a special group that grew up to Mario, and it has to care to only people like him. And the fact that he's crashing out about this, the fact that he's so upset about this, says enough that this is someone who I don't believe grew up with Mario, or gripped to anything, and anything he probably did, he didn't want to look anything that wasn't serious or deep or meaningful, which he loves saying meaningful, because he wants things to be bigger. But like, this, like, only reason I think he dislikes this movie because it did not give him, make him have a plot that follows the story, that will have a tie-in game that he can play. Like, that's why I think he's mostly mad about this, because it wasn't what I described. Not only that, it really does show how he is so upset about this. And honestly, I believe, like, it's fine. Like, the movies are perfect. Like, both the Mario and Sonic movies are perfect. Even though I feel like a lot of people who try to prop up the Mario movies because they had the movies from the games. But the difference, at least one thing I can say is that at least with the Sonic movies, at least they still try to do the little thing. And it didn't feel like tattoo, like, first movie felt like Sonic Forge or the Game Hero. Second movie, he makes a friend and gets Super Sonic. Movie 3, he becomes probably a bigger hero because he has to understand like this. You have to understand like the responsibility and how he survives with shadow. And 4 will be like but we'll see. But Phil is just upset because this is for kids. It's soft because it's for kids. And that's the thing, like, I feel like this thing, something that is for children should not be seen as bad, and something that should be for childish or kids should not be seen as bad. Let's go. People have an unfortunate knee-jerk reaction to, like, reboots, stuff like that, that all for a younger demographic, say, they're not about to tell a serious story. I won't name names, but I think you know what I'm referring to. But Phil is that example of someone who cannot handle the fact that nothing cares for him. And this movie shows how he handles this. This is someone who just cannot handle the fact that this movie is not his anymore, and is crashing out about it. And like honest, Phil doesn't have a game. There's so many hits that Phil has no gaming. And he's only mad about it because he can't get this. Won't be something that he can play through, do like an actual playthrough, walkthrough, and get like a whole time like buzz out of it. So he's always gonna hate it because he's got a medical terrain that hates everything, you know?
Yeah. Sad. Because, you know, they could have done so much. And instead they're just doing so fucking little. With zero effort. So, anyway. Yeah, I hate it. Soulless slop. No, I mean, Bookworm, you're right, but that's where they've gone wrong. He says, well, I thought that's made for us guys over 40. The movie's made for kids. Well, why? It's supposed to be generational, meaning it's supposed to be something that appeals to everyone, right? It's Mario. Mario is for kids. Mario is for adults. Mario is for everyone in between. It's supposed to be kind of a universal appeal, is it not? At least that's my feeling. It's supposed to be universally appealing. Instead, it's just for the kids now. Why? Why can't it appeal to everyone? Why can't it actually be a good movie for kids to watch, but for those who've had Mario as part of their lives for 40 freaking years, right? Why can't it also be good for them? Because that's too hard to do? I guess so. I guess it's too hard to make something that actually is culturally relevant for everyone. Instead, just go the easy route and just make some slop.
Again, how do you know this? You just want, again, it just feels like you're trying to want us to care just to you and be like you alone. The movies are not made for you. You don't even enjoy the very movie that you talk about. Only that is that your whole entire dynamic is why is bad? It's they're making a movie that's for children, that's for families. Well, of course, you would understand it because you don't have a family and you don't have children. You wouldn't understand this because you don't like it. Not only that is that, yeah, you say this is because you act like this has been in your life, but we have no proof you clearly played Mario games when you were young. You clearly have no proof you did play Mario games. And the same way, you don't really understand. So it's just you want to call it sloppy. You want to hate this because it's popular.
To be whole again.
Because that's all Phil does. He wants to go after anything that could be popular, he dislikes. If it's not something he can profit off, he dislikes.
The same way
it's nothing that he can't get off. gets up into
We
like
are
get like
brothers
oxidation he
who
dislikes.
together make a
That's why he
greater
hates this movie
whole.
because it doesn't cater to
Then why
him.
won't you stand
It's
by
not
our
like
side?
not
Instead of
following
with
the
darkness?
plots of every single game in each movie
Because
based on
I
each
am
game,
darkness.
which is what he wants.
And I
Because he wants
do
to
stand
play
by
through
your
the story
side.
like a
I'm the
walkthrough. That's why
shadow
he
that you
that's why he
cast.
couldn't grasp or handle
How much
Last of Us
closer could I
Part 1
be?
and Last of Us Season 1 and 2 because all of the
But I
training
didn't-
things that were
but I didn't
like
ask for
following
this.
like a walkthrough for him.
To be
Because he wants to
sifted
just
apart,
walk
nice
through
and
the story
neat.
of the movie, that's it.
We should be
But
free
he
to
could not handle like
choose.
when people say, well,
Not just
yeah, like,
light,
he's so offended,
not
like,
just
why could not
darkness.
care to me?
We decide what we are.
Well, of course it doesn't care to you. You're a boomer poser of a video game
Ventus,
player. You don't
I
even enjoy
did
the
decide
media,
who I am.
and you try to
You
paint
see?
yourself as being better than everybody else. And here you are,
What you are
crashing
is
out about the
darkness?
Mario movie, and then crashing out it again. I know that in Nintendo too, but that's a whole different story.
What I am
Yeah.
is darkness.
Other than that, it really is just still kind of just having nothing out because he hates it because it's not
Okay.
for catering to him. And that's why I said before. He's just really upset
How is that okay?
that this movie is not
Vanitas?
being what he wants it to be. And that is, it has to be following the story, the story and lore of the games one after another. Which, again, there's not that much story you can get in the first couple games, the spin-offs of RPGs. I'm just saying.
I guess it's what it is. It's kind of like if you're a creator, you could either make creative, meaningful content, or you could just react to shit all day, right? So you make the slop. You make the easy mode slop. It makes you money. It's easy to produce. Yeah, don't work. Just react to nonsense, be a drama idiot, and make a lot of money. Yeah, I get it. That's also what I'm against, too. So I guess that's why I don't like the Super Mario Brother movies. There you go. Oh, I disagree. Lalafell says the movie works fine for adults. Did you see the first movie? It was so bad. Like, I was so fucking bored most of the movie. Every time you think something cool is going to happen, oh, wait, they're starting to play the theme from Mario 3 out of nowhere. I wonder if something's about to happen that'll tie in Mario 3 to... No. They just played it as background music, so if you know Mario 3, you'd be like, ooh, I recognize that track, and it has no meaning whatsoever. It's a waste of your fucking time. And then all of a sudden, they would cram in a bunch of shit that makes no sense. Why is Mario Kart in this? Why is the Donkey Kong world in this? What? Huh? The fuck is going on? Don't worry about that. Is it flashy? Is it pretty? Well, yeah, it is. Well, then just keep watching. And keep your mouth shut. You're not supposed to think. You're just supposed to watch. Oh.
Look, a lot of people had their criticisms about the Super Mario Brothers movie when it first came out. They didn't like that Chris Pratt was Mario. They didn't like, a lot of people didn't like it, like the Hollywood actors over like voice actors from the games. People didn't like, didn't like that Peach, it was
please,
not the dancing as fresh it normally is, and it's like a girl boss like that. But no one didn't like how the problem with it because it was using different elements from Mario. It wasn't just just the elements of one narrative try to expand it for the entirety of the whole entire story. Which again is why it uses elements across the Mario series. Because again, Mario games don't have a lot of plot. Like, especially if your series is meant to be like the big origin and starting of your cinematic universe, and which I know some people don't like, like Marvel, something like that. You do not want to just try to you don't want to just make a simple save the princess, save the world, save the princess kind of story. Because you've been for those already. And honestly, what people want to see is more characters doing more. Like, seeing Mario, Mario going on his own hero's journey, from someone who was a loser to becoming a hero, was a great thing. Seeing Peach, have a bit more character, and we see her interact with her. Like, she can hold her own, and that what makes her character interesting in this version. And again, why is it why the Mario Kart? Like, yeah, it's because it's not just because Mario Kart was a spin-off. Like, Mario Kart has no story to it. So they use Mario Kart as second piece. How they're gonna get to Bowser? How they're gonna get to Bowser? How they're gonna travel to get to Bowser? They're gonna use carts. Why Donkey Kong characters in there? These dark comments in Mario is part of Mario lore, and that's always been. The character who's been in Mario since then going back to Jumpman, and Donkey Kong. So of course these characters are going to turn up. But Phil would understand it because he just wants the story to be just so Mario 1, Mario 2, Mario 3, Mario World at best. Well, Mario 1, 2, and 3, then World, 64, etc. Because he just wants the bare bones plot, but then it's like, oh, you don't think. People have criticisms all the time with these movies, but he acts like no one does. He's just trying to be special because it's Phil. He wants to act like his opinion matters. But no one really matters about Phil. Because it's Phil. Phil does not matter to this entire thing. Because honestly, why does it matter to him? Why does it actually matter? And that's something you tell with this part, that Phil really doesn't realize. It's just like, and no question more of it. I mean, Phil doesn't even watch movies anymore. I don't even know why Phil went to go see the movies. Like, he went to go see Avengers, walked out, and then got confused because he didn't understand what happened. He's an idiot.
Got it. I disagree. Someone just said, well, it's better than making 5 separate Mario movies. No, it's not. If you're making an intelligent narrative that goes over 5 movies and they all make sense and they lead into each other in a coherent plot that is intelligent, I like that more than slop. Okay, I'll give you an example. In the 1990s, there were 2 cartoons that came out for Sonic the Hedgehog. There was The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which was Kitty Slop, and then there was Sonic SATAM, Saturday Morning, okay? The reason that everyone liked Saturday Morning was because it was an ongoing narrative. It had serious themes. The story developed over time. If you missed an episode, you actually didn't know what was going on the next episode because you missed a part of the story. It was like reading an ongoing comic book narrative that you wanted to follow each episode, each issue. You didn't want to miss one. It was actually meaningful content written for intelligent people, okay? Sonic Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was literally like Looney Tunes. Every episode meant nothing. It was complete slop. It was just slapstick jokes and garbage. You could miss an episode, come back, you miss nothing because everything's a full reboot reset. Okay? That's what they're making now for kids. Just brainless trash. Nothing that makes them think, care, feel. Just, it's sparkly. Look, oh. The kids are going to be fucking stunted. These kids are not going to know how to feel, how to think, do anything for themselves because they're watching this garbage. They're playing this garbage. Their whole life is easy mode garbage. They're going to be dumb as rocks. Why are we feeding our kids the rocks?
I feel really open out for this man about media for children. He also kind of forgot about Sonic Underground. But I guess he probably ignored that because he footballed the music. But Phil was on something just that all shows were made that we could think and feel. There was a reason why a lot of shows had these the moral lessons.
Is it you?
And made you kind of realize what you have to learn, what you learn wrong, and what characters.
You never stop lighting
this
my
stuff that
mood
was
back.
going on back then, even back in 90s, 2000s. The reason why the PAL family were very revolutionary in time, so it actually got you to
I heard you too,
understand
Vane.
the lessons at the end. Even if you don't
You
understand
found
lessons,
me,
the lesson,
just like you
the lesson
promised.
was Counterblade. But he's acting like children are gonna be dumb
you.
because they like Super Mario. Why can kids just enjoy a
Aqua and Ventus need rest.
But
Terra,
it's like
look
Phil,
after them.
He acts like it has been. It really shows.
No, Sora.
Just confirm my
I'm going
theory
to.
of someone who basically who
That's
really
what he
only
wants,
only wanted
for us
care
to
about
make
the,
a mistake,
serious
put ourselves in
story, and
danger.
anything that was not serious and childish, not meaningful.
Sora,
That's why he was calling he called
we'll catch up
he
with
called
you.
Red Sonic Hedgehog Kitty Slop. What does that tell you about Phil?
I got
Even though
this.
he is a children's entertainer,
No, there's no fucking irony here, you stupid fucking dunce. The reason that I'm different from other creators is because I don't put out fucking slop. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll actually fucking be intelligent for once. But the thing is, you're a mouth drooler, and you say dumb shit like that. Why am I so angry about Mario lore but not Fallout? Because the Fallout lore continues the story of Fallout. The reason people don't like the Fallout TV show is because the people writing the show have chosen outcomes for character arcs that they don't like. They don't like that Mr. House turned out this way, that the Legion turned out this way, that the NCR turned out this way. They're upset. They always imagined in their heads through fan service that the plot would have gone somewhere different. Well, the show's continuing the plot. You don't like that, you have a right to disagree. That doesn't mean the show is bad. That is reimagining the existing plot of Mario in a slop-like garbage fashion. It's literally stomping on the fucking stuff that you grew up with. And the problem is the people in charge, who are in charge of Nintendo, are actually saying, so this now makes this relevant for a new generation. Now a new generation will understand Mario. No, they won't. Not if they're watching that. You fucking ruined it. So they're going to think that's Mario. They're not going to know that War is from Mario 2 and that's a unique game that plays different from the rest of the Mario franchise and why. They're not going to know that Bowser Jr. was from Mario Sunshine and he had the paintbrush with him and that was part of that game. They're not going to understand that Mario Galaxy was the one about the Lumas and they won't play any of the games. They'll think it's all one fucking thing because you made it that way in a movie for morons.
See what I mean by crashing out for no reason? Because again, people disagree with him. Honestly, Phil does make sense. When all this started, he decided, I'm going to literally just upload all his raw gameplay onto my channel, not in order, nothing special about it, and then get hopefully a lot of profit. And yet he wasn't called everything stop. And yet here he is, trying to defend Fallout. Like, people like the Fallout. Like, it's funny how he defends Fallout, but does not like the Mario movie. I think it's just a lot about Phil that you know. And that is, oh, it's alright for the Fallout team to do what it did, but you're thinking, and you're trying to make up some kind of narrative that Nintendo said. Nintendo didn't say anything about this being defended Mario. It's just admitting the story, and you're taking it seriously. And it really says a lot about Phil, because he is taking it so seriously. Because what he's doing is getting mad about it.
The moon shines down!
And you're passing out older children. You're calling people morons because this movie is offensive, it's ruining Mario. Like, look, there's a lot of things people will say, people say, quote, ruin their favorite franchises. Like, there's the whole thing about live action stuff, there's things like Marvel movies, stuff like that. That's fine. But I really don't know how something like the Marvel is like ruining people's lives. But he still is taking this so seriously. And you wonder why we make fun of him. Because he does stuff like this. And honestly, you have to ask yourself this one question. Why is he so mad about it? And why does it matter so much? I mean, why do I matter so much?
But again, you have to be intelligent to understand the distinction between the Fallout show and the Mario slop, but you're not intelligent, which is why you're asking me the question. Genuinely, who cares? Well, obviously people do because they wanted me to react to that. They asked me to react to that. Distinctly, I was asked today to react to that clip, and that's why. By the way, it's going to demonetize the video, so if you're watching this video on YouTube, any ads you see on it aren't mine. Nintendo's making all the revenue on this video. Yeah, they already claimed, because they claimed the stream. I'm serious. They claimed the stream, said, oh, you're watching someone else's content. Turn it off right now. So there you go. Does it matter if a new audience doesn't know where things come from? Yes, it does, actually. Right now, there's an entire generation of people who think that the Transformers are just a bunch of slop CGI movies. They don't even know that Transformers actually started out as like a Japanese-style manga, and then it turned into an American cartoon, and then there was a toy series behind it. They don't know anything. They actually legit just think that it's a bunch of shitty Michael Bay movies. That's sad. What was the point of that? Oh, to make money. Oh, so because you made money, you ruined something. Good for you. Oh, I don't believe in that. I think that's fucked up. I really do. Shia LaBeouf started Transformers. There you go. You're right. It was Shia LaBeouf and his grand determination and genius who thought up the Transformers franchise.
You wanna know Phil was bullshit? I have to look this up. There were no Transformers manga before the 1984 series. Now, and most Well, the 1984 series was made in the West. It was mostly made by a studio at best. But the first Western cartoon before even the Bay movies was Beast Wars. You have Transformers go out to the sky. I think it's an anime. You have Unicorn Trilogy. Then you have obviously Unicorn Trilogy, and then you have the Bay movies, and then Transformers, and then animated, which I think was Western animation. Not sure, but you know what I mean. But no one is really thinking that the Transformers is the Michael Bay stuff. That was bad, especially when people were basically hating it. But then again, filmmaking got nonsense. Also, Shia LaBeouf is so irrelevant. Not only has he ruined his career, he did such a bad thing. His own former colleagues don't want nothing to do with him because he brought nothing to do with him now. You know it's bad. Music artist doesn't even want him on a on a Mount Rushmore. Disney Channel stars. That is sad. That's sad that someone that was probably your friend see that too. But no, people do not know that. And again, this is still pulling things out of his ass because he's acting like these modern these are replacing the classic. They're not.
What final words do
nothing,
you have
none of these live action stuff is replacing the classic Disney.
Well, let me
Nothing,
think about it.
The modern Star Wars
How
stuff is
about
replacing classic Star Wars stuff.
You were
None of
never
it
my
is.
superior.
These remakes, the reboots, and these child more children's based for children are not replacing the
knocked
new
from the
yet.
board
But
early
yet,
in the
Phil is
game?
just making up nonsense
Utterly
because, well,
useless
he's,
and
again, crashing out on
forgotten.
this. I grew
Are
up
you
to more
kidding?
Transformers
Do you
than
know
Phil
how
did.
popular I
Now,
am?
I never saw the
I got loads of
1984
people
series. I
rooting
only
for
knew a little
me.
bit about later on.
Sorry,
I
boss.
saw Robots in the
No
Sky,
one axes
the
axle.
Monster Trilogy, Unicorn
Got it
Trilogy,
memorized.
and I think the Transformers animated. That's what I call the
Is
newer
this
Transformers
supposed
stuff.
to be
Not
a
much, but I do want to
Keyblade?
watch all that.
Or is it
I actually
some
finally got
sort
to
of
finish Beast Machines a
joke?
couple years ago, which was kind of cool to finally get to watch that performance. Sorry. But this is again Phil making up nonsense to fit a narrative because he's mad about this. He's thinking that everybody, they're keep in mind, Phil wants to be better than everybody. He wants to replace everyone. He
Our
wants to be
plans
the only
have
one
been
that's still
dashed by
around
you.
today and stuff like that.
Far
And
more
this is
times
Phil
than I
being
care to
Phil.
count.
Actually, again,
Now
just
it
crashing
ends.
out on this.
I will purge
Literal
that light
for
in
kids.
you
I need to, like I said,
with darkness.
I never mind. At this point, who cares
Changing
about
sides
the
again.
base movies anymore? I think last one we got was
We
one.
need him alive.
Was Transformers
You know
1.
that.
That's it. Back in
We
2023 or
only
so.
need his heart in order to forge the key.
There is nothing
We
to
do
talk
not
about. And I think
need his
we have now a
soul.
new Transformers series in a bit.
Oh,
But after that, there's
But
nothing to
that's
talk about
right.
the base
You
former
were
stuff anymore.
friends.
No one cared.
then
Nobody cared
you
anymore.
take his life.
It was basically a thing to basically hate it, but now it's kind of now it's a running thing now. Honestly, this is what happens when people still talk about it. No one talks about it. They do, but not. Hell, more people talk more about what new sets of Transformers that we might see when we get our Transformers series come out. You know what I mean?
Don't do
this is
this.
still talking out his butt. And never mind, he's just really mad about nothing. He's mad about nothing. Nothing is replacing what you called the horrible life you were a kid. Which again, I don't believe it. You don't even know. You couldn't even remember how
You can stop
Transformers
now.
started. You're just making things shit
It's
up
alright.
to fit your own narrative.
Shion.
Transformers started as it started with the 1984 series. Then of course you have obviously things like D1, the movie WD1. Then you have things like What Was the Sky, Beast Wars, What Was the Sky, all that. And then and guess what? One thing I like that I think the Bayformers movies did. I didn't know who Bumblebee was. And now Bumblebee would be definitely one of my favorite Transformers of the Autobots. Thanks to the Bayformers movie, we got to know who he was. Someone told you to know who he was. hot shot at the
And still
time
you
was
think you can
with the
play
Bumblebee.
at being a
Those two
guardian of
back then.
light?
In the Unicorn trilogy.
You can
But it's
wait
sad
your
I know
turn.
what Transformers.
Also
this
ran.
Thoughts on the 90s Mario movie? I mean, it was an atrocious abortion, right? It really was. But it's one of those movies that it's so bad, it's good. Like, I would watch the Mario movie and enjoy it just on the sake that you know it's a horrible movie. Just like the Street Fighter movie from the 90s. Same thing. Like, you know it's bad, but you can't help enjoying watching it. You get entertainment factor out of it being bad. Hot Fire, it's a good question, but I'm going to answer it in a way you're not going to like. He says, serious question, don't you think using modern adaptations opens the door for them to discover old stuff rather than just hoping they'll find it? No. Want to know why? Because the modern adaptations, sadly, replace the old stuff. Okay? How many movies come out that are remakes of the original, and you had no idea there was an original? And you never will. Yeah, because that new modern movie is the replacement for the original, so you have no clue that the original ever existed. Okay? The head of Nintendo outright said, we're making these movies to become culturally relevant as the representations of our IP for a modern era. Meaning, he wants the movies to replace the originals because he thinks they can't monetize the originals anymore. I'm serious. This is what the guy said. He basically said, you can't really sell the Mario Brothers games anymore from back in the day. No one's going to buy Mario 1 on NES. So instead, we'll sell the movie. That's what he said. He said, that's the replacement. Well, I want you to think about that. Today, Street Fighter 6 is the easiest fighting game on the fucking planet to play. It's literally a simpleton's game. Anyone within 20 minutes of playing and watching a video can probably do a giant combo in the game. It has almost no skill whatsoever to execute anything in the game. Everything is easy mode shit. Okay? Do you think that a person commonly right now who just jumped in and started playing Street Fighter 6 is going to say, oh, I just discovered Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I can't wait to go play it. No. They don't even know it exists. And they never will. The community doesn't talk about it. It's as if it never, ever happened. Instead, all we want to talk about is Street Fighter 6. Why? Because that's what brings in the views. That's what brings in the money. That's what everyone talks about. Because it's profitable. Because it's popular. Because it's hype. So no one talks about the original good shit when you replace it with slop. The slop becomes what's representative of the IP then. And that's what's happened with almost everything in our lives, is that a modern slop version that's easily marketable and monetizable has replaced the original good work. The art is being lost to the monetized garbage. And even worse than that, now we've got AI in the mix. An AI to generate half the shit. So now can you imagine what's going to happen in the next 10 years when they start to make the new movies, the new games, and AI just generates half of it? How bad that's going to fucking be? So now you'll never know the originals ever existed. Yeah, I don't know. That's my opinion. You can disagree, that's fine. That's the beauty of it, is that in life people can agree to disagree. If you like the modern stuff, go for it. Seriously, if you like that Mario movie, go watch it. I'm not going to. When it goes on demand somewhere for free or something, I'll watch it, which is what I did with the original Mario movie, but I have zero desire to see that thing. That looks like a big turd to me. It's called a polished turd. It's a turd nonetheless. It fucking stinks. It really is not representative of what it's supposed to be. But man, they polished it up to look nice, so everyone's gonna go spend money on it. So go for it. I ain't watching that shit.
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.
And of course, it has to end with Phil talking about poop again. But again, Phil acting like these modern, takes, modern games, stuff like that, are replacing the old stuff. They aren't. Now, again, accessibility, preservation are what I'll say. When people are not trying to use it for their own, only want to preserve it for their own means. But again, this is Phil talking at him on ass. Again, he tried to bring it back. Like, he thinks that these, and keep in mind, Phil is Bob Slop. He is what is essentially modern Bob content creators.
My turn.
It turns out, He thinks that he has a morning show, which is the same thing as a non-podcast. He thinks he makes meaningful
This
playthroughs
is
when they add
impossible.
nothing. His commentary is
Where
trash.
did you get a
He has
vessel?
nothing about you. He remembers
Same
absolutely
as you.
nothing. Like he
Same
actually called rock
power.
type stone
Most of the
Pokemon,
organization's
stone
members,
type. You
they
cannot
traveled
make
here
this
from the
shit up.
past as hearts.
This is someone who
and
acts
you
like
had
they know
replicas ready
everything,
and waiting.
and here they are. Like, of
One
course,
for
you're
each of
still
them.
probably gonna wait until it goes to
Who
Amazon
told you?
Prime or whatever
I owe my
streaming service
return
he
to
probably
many.
has. We're gonna wait for it to be on free.
Some of them
You have
people
to
you
go
knew.
and see it because you don't leave his own house.
Ansem the wise.
This is how badly you tell
Zexion.
Bill is literally
And others
just
too.
mad about something.
It
that
seems
does
you're not as good
make
at winning
sense.
over people's hearts as you think.
I
Oh boy.
see.
So,
There was
final
one last
thoughts.
thing I
'Cause
needed
honestly,
in
this was
order
the
for me to
first
be
time
whole
I've done a
again.
DSP in a while. And honestly, this one took
A
a
connection.
bit. I'm probably going to try to do shorter.
Sora
I'm going to
helped me
probably use
find
more
my way
shorter
back
clips, shorter videos. I might
To my
use some of
friends.
Judy's videos.
Roxas.
They're a little bit shorter. But honestly, this one was just like a hard one
I
to do.
don't need
Because
hearts.
honestly, at least I
I
actually
will
got to
scatter
it.
them
This was
all to
a
the
tough one.
winds.
But honestly, Bill is just lashing out over a
difference does
children's
one
movie.
little light
He's acting
have
all like
others.
these modern stuff is ruining stuff from my
Just as we
childhood
have
and
more
stuff like that. Like, why do
darknesses
you
to
care?
replenish our
You're someone who
ranks.
makes and then you try to force like old playthroughs and stuff. You try to force old retro games on people. You try to force indie stuff on pro. Bill is basically have nothing
Rest,
to add.
Axel.
He is sloppy. He is the polished
Roxas will
of
fight
his
in your
content.
place.
He thinks he's special and
And
better
I'll
than
fight
everybody
for
else,
Kyrie.
but he has absolutely nothing of meaning. And
Yeah.
here he is,
When it
crashing
comes to
out on a movie
Keyblades,
for children.
you're the old
Crashing out
hat.
on all these modern stuff. None of the stuff with it. And of course, oh, you want to now talk about AI? Sir, you use AI movies. Don't even act like you're worrying about AI. You use AI. So, well, that's pretty much it. Sorry this was in 2 parts. This was actually, again, I have limited like commentary, like tracks like you do, so I couldn't like do as many. But honestly, at least it helps. So, shout out to Hogan for this video, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully I can find something more shorter to talk about, or maybe I will deep dive into something that's happened that can feel more insight to me. Honestly, Phil being a data Pokemon is what I could do, but I am gonna wait until someone does a good job of a video for it. I can really dive into it. I mean, I can only ask Mitch, as long as he doesn't see anything like tap on ass, I'm good. I just don't, I don't want to really associate this video with like taps on anime because, well, it's not that, it's 2026. Big on ass, big on 2017. So please, over on 99. See you next time. Take care.